Okay, so welcome to my video again. And in this video, I'm going to talk about a very important concept in SQL that is called SQL joins. So what do we mean by joins? So we are going to talk about that, and then what are the different kinds of joins that we have. Okay, so first let's start with what join is. Okay, so join basically means joining two or more tables. That's it. Okay, but to join two or more tables, we need a certain relationship between two tables, right? So let's say if I talk about a student and if I talk about, let's say, a parent, okay, so student has a kind of relationship with their parent, right? So this student data will be related with the parent. Now, similar to this data, we have the data above, that is a customer data and the order data, right? Now, we can use our common sense, and we can understand that the customer data will be related with the order data, right? Because ultimately the customers are going to place the orders. Okay, now what are the columns that we have in the data? So we have all the customer related information. Now in this data we have all the order related information, right? So now if I look at what are the customer related information we have, so we have a customer ID, name, contact name, address, city, etc. Okay, and if I talk about the order data, so we have the order ID, we have the customer ID, we have the employee ID, order date, and the shipper ID. So okay, so it's all about orders and it's all about customers. Now we know that there are relationship between these two tables, right? Now what is the relationship and how we can get the relationship, right? So if I try to hide this data, okay, and if I look only at this data, okay, so we have the customer ID. Okay, now if I ask you this customer ID 2, who is this customer, what is his or her name, you won't be able to say that because you don't have the customer data right now. Okay, but if I get you the customer data, you will be able to say that, right? So if I talk about customer 2 and if I look here, so I can quickly say that customer 2 is no one but Anna. Okay, now this is how we try to establish the relationship between two data using a common column. Okay, so what is the common column that we have in this data? The common column that we have is the customer ID, and by using the customer ID we can establish the relationship, as well as we can establish the join operation as well. Okay, so this is all about join. Okay, now if I show you how join works, so it will be something like, let's say if I talk about these orders. Okay, so we have all these orders and we have all the customers, right? So if I ask you who ordered this particular, let's say, who placed this particular order, your answer will be Anna, right? So the contact name that you will take is Anna. You see here, what I'm doing is I'm just combining these two tables. I'm just joining these two tables. Okay, based on just two columns, and you can have more columns as well. You can add the employee ID, etc., etc. as well. Okay, but the thing is, we can join two different data based on the common column that we have. Okay, now kinds of joins. Okay, not three. There are many kinds of joins, but we are going to look at three joins. Okay, in this video. So if I go to inner join, so what inner join does? Inner join here, if you read this, so inner join basically returns all the rows that have the matching values. So only the matching values will be taken. Okay. Now, if I talk about between the customer IDs, what is the common row that you have? Okay, your answer will be 2, right? Because 2 is the only thing that is matching between these two data. Okay, so and here if you look at the data, so this is not two data, this is one data only. What we have done is we have tried to use the join operation. Okay, now if you look over here, you will see that it is returning only one row, and if you look at the customer ID, the customer IDs are 2 only. Okay, because 2 is the only thing that is matching between these two data. Okay, now if you see on the right, on the left hand side, we have the order data. So if you look at the order data, okay, we have how many columns do we have? We have 5 columns, and here also we have 5 columns. And similarly in the customer data, how many columns do we have? We have 7 columns, and here also we have 7 columns. Okay, so this is how what we do is we use the join operation. Okay, now this is all about the inner join, and this is the most important join. Okay, So what it does, it will only take the matching values between tables. That's it. And it will join to tables. Okay. Okay. So this is about the inner join. Now let's go to the left join. So what left join, let's say you have two tables. So this is your left table and this is your right table. Okay, so let me try to write it down over here. So this is your left table and this is your right table. Okay, now let me try to make them a little bit bigger so that you can see. So this is our right table and this is our left table. Now what left join does is left join takes all the rows from the left table, okay, and the matching rows from the right table. Okay, that means it will just close its eye and it will take all the rows from the left table, as you can see over here, right? So we have three records and it has taken 1, 2, 3 records. But if you see the right table, which is the order data, okay, in the right table, it is only taking the matching value. So you see the other two rows that we have are null. Okay, so it is only taking the matching values from the right hand side. Okay, so what left join does is left join takes all the records left table and the matching records from the right table. That's it. Okay. And it says if there is no match, it will still return the rows from the left table with null. Okay. So if there is no match, let's say, okay, so what it will do is it will still give you the rows, but it will show nulls over here. Okay, so this is all about the left join. Okay, now right join is something very similar to left join. Okay, so instead of left, it just says right. Okay, now if I go to the right join, so in the right join, what it says is right join is a reverse of left join. Okay, now if I talk about the right join, so here again, so this is our left table and this is our right table. Okay, so, okay, sorry. In this case, this will be our right table and this will be our left table because we have considered this as our right table and this as our left table. So let me try to make it bigger. Now, what it does is it takes all the records from the right table. As you can see, it has taken all the records from the right hand side table and only the matching records from the left hand side table. Okay, so this is the only difference. Okay, left join, what we did, we took the customer data as our left table, and in here in the right join, we took the customer data as our right table. Okay, so this is how it joins. Now we are going to see how we can use SQL to do this. Okay, so we will learn how to write the SQL queries for all these three joins. Okay, so that's it for this video. See you in the next one.